Welcome to another episode of Duality Podcast. I'm Mr. Business.
It's your boy, Mr. Social.
What's good, bro? Yeah, I know. Oh, first and foremost, whoever watching this right now, share this video. Share this podcast.
Share this podcast.
Yeah, share it. Whoever on right now, hit the share button. Let's go. Let's keep this thing moving.
One of the other things, say rest in power to Black Rob.
Absolutely.
Hip-hop artist.
Whoa.
Lost another one. Whoa.
For real.
Yeah, that took over the streets. That whoa.
Yeah, that right there, that was like the hardest thing out when it came through.
No, that was one of them songs where the granny, the mother, and the kid, each generation knew that song. Whoa, was even saying.
But actually, if you play that right now in the club, it'll pop off.
Yeah.
It'll pop off right now. If you play that right now in the club. We done seen it a couple of times, like Chilex throw that, you getting that hip hop set. Everything could just start. People start spazzing. I mean, listen, that's just one of them songs, man. Like, to me, that was one of those Busta Rhymes deals. You know how he gets some shit to get you amped up.
Right.
Whoa, get you there. It'll take you right there.
Definitely do. But like I said, we lost two hip hop icons.
Absolutely.
Within a week of each other.
Yeah. Nah, the crazy thing about that to me is he paying his respects to DMX while he's dying.
Word.
You know what I mean? Like, people don't understand that part. Like, he was dying and still had enough energy to pay his respects.
Well, I want everybody just to reflect a minute on that I hope we got some younger, from the younger generation tuned in as well. We usually have some. But, this is not to get on either one of those brothers, them kings, right? They were very talented, creative. They gave the world some good energy. I'm just using the entertainment lifestyle is usually a lot of partying, late nights. And just watch your health, man, because things we do younger, it could catch up with you, as you start growing older. And just want to make sure you stay up on your health. Don't run your body into the ground when you're too young, because you bounce back so fast. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Ain't nothing.
Yeah, true.
Remember, you can hang out all night, go get something to eat, and then go to work. I wouldn't even dare think of doing that now.
I don't know. You know me. After we do a party, man, the next morning I'm up like hell and shit. Like, I don't know. It takes me like 2 days to come down. You know what I mean?
But that's different if you saying you was on a surge of energy versus I ain't working or throwing the party or nothing. I'm just hanging out, partying.
Oh yeah. I ain't hanging out.
Drinking.
I ain't hanging out. Period.
Then be like, yo, it's too late to go to sleep. Let's just get something to eat, and I'm gonna go straight to work from there.
Yeah, you might go to work, but it's gonna be a bad day. At this point in our life, it's not even a good day at all.
Hey, the chat room popping off already. Happy Sunday to you too, Flora Cruz. She said, happy Sunday, fellas. Also, we got the CJ, Shonda Trent. Okay. Hello. Sis, how you doing?
Peace. Y'all hit that share button. Let's go.
Yeah, we're gonna emphasize that. We want y'all to really share this. I think this week we're gonna go in on some issues that's been in the limelight, in the news feed, in the breaking news, the headline news. And man, I'm gonna tell you, I'm super duper frustrated. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm tired of being sick and tired. You said,
yeah.
You know how they be like, I'm sick and tired of being sick? Yeah, I'm tired of being sick and tired.
Right.
But, and that's what I think I saw one of the memes. So we'll start with one of the issues. So I'll tell you today, our topic is kind of what does it mean to be, let's change it, based on what we was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
With all the racial and social issues that black folks been going through. I don't know what you like to say, African American, black, African descent, Aboriginals. I don't know. We be all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But
Indigenous people. Yeah.
I mean, and all of them make sense to an extent when you hear it. It's all intelligent. I'm not doing it that way, but we just got so many right now. But
Right.
all the things that's been happening, we definitely know it's a culture of everybody is woke, meaning they're a lot more aware of the system of racism, white supremacy, the structure of it, and how it operates as an entire system. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I still think it's some blatant things, not some, there's so many blatant things that still happen that shows we are not equal. It's definitely like just two Americas. And we kind of going to touch on some of them things today. And at least I don't want to speak for my brother right there right now, but I know we mentioned this word unapologetically black or unapologetically African. And that was kind of going to be the topic. But what I'm saying is how those things, at least that's what I would like to say to you now,
Right.
that I was bringing up, those so many injustices and equality that still shows its face to us.
Okay.
What else, you know, could we do to combat it besides, you know, I've heard other people say it, and to my understanding, being unapologetically black or unapologetically African is just putting your blackness, your Africanness, superseding all other of your subgroups in your life that you belong to, meaning your political party, meaning your religion, meaning your fraternity, meaning whatever, you know, sorority, your bike club. We got to really start being black first, and we got to think that way. We got to act that way. We got to do business that way. We got to educate our children that way. We got to move politically that way. We got to move economically that way. And I swear, man, you hear some people talk about different ethnic groups. And the ethnic groups that are somewhat thriving in this country did exactly that. And they gave zero fucks. And they were unapologetic. If you go to New York City, biggest city in the world, more, you know, pretty much the most famous city in the world, they have an entire area, you know, for Jewish folks, right? Most of Crown Heights. And then I don't know how Crown Heights break down. It's some real specific areas where it's all Jews. We live in Jersey here. We know we could go in pockets all over and see it. You see the pockets growing of East Indians, meaning like Pakistanis, Indians, things of that nature in the Edison, Rawway, Woodbridge area. They're building their own community. Do you know that Jewish people have their own ambulance and hospital system in New York City?
Okay.
They have their own patrols. I don't want to call them police, but security force or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I go right here in Linden, New Jersey. I know it sounds a little weird, but they, you know, Linden, if you do the history, was if scattered more now, was a big hub for Polish Americans. You go down Wood Avenue in Linden, what do you see? Polish grocery store, Polish bank, it's in the name, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying, why don't we do that? Asians been catching a lot of flack lately. I understand that. I don't wish that on nobody. But how you go to every major city in the country has a Chinatown. We got to start working with ourselves, man, and let everybody else figure it out too. Like I'm dead serious. So that's my meaning of unapologetically black. That's what I'm claiming, and that the reasons why is stuff like this.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, I went in.
No, that's fine. But here's my thing. One, when we supposed to be apologetic in the first place? See, that's the first problem. You know what I mean? We was never supposed to be. I don't know.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
But we was being it.
Yeah, but like I said, why? I have no idea. You make a good point that all these other groups have their own everything, but they know financially the money is still in our community. You understand?
Yep.
They know where the money is at. We just are too, since you say woke, I guess we're blind to the fact that every race will build a store, some type of commerce in the black community.
Agreed.
Every race. It ain't just Asian, not just Jews, Dominicans, Colombians. Every race will build a pocket in the urban black community. Why? Because they know we spend money way more than we save money, you know, historically. And they know we have gotten accustomed to letting them, hey, Poppy, us to death. You know what I mean?
True.
We have grown accustomed because they know how to make us. It's like the oldest slavish trick in the world. Like, they know how to make us feel like they care about us until they speak in their own language. Then you find out who they are. You know what I mean? But as long as you spend that money, they love you type thing. We decided that it was okay. That was the biggest problem. We decided it was okay. Like, we will literally kill each other and let their stores thrive in our community. Why? I don't understand it yet.
I can't.
Why? So, when we say woke, I say sleepwalking for a lot of us. Because we'll sit around. To me, the most woke people were the slaves. To me, they was woke. Like, they knew I couldn't say this or I couldn't say that to keep my life. You know what I mean? So how was they more woke with less education than we are current day? You know what I mean? Like, how? It's just weird to me. We got way more technology, way more knowledge than slaves had. But they had more common sense than we have, to me.
Well, to my understanding, woke is really only kind of coming to the consciousness that white supremacy is real and it's a system, and it is the system of the United States of America.
Okay, and once again, slaves were more woke than we were.
How is that? I don't understand that.
Because, say for instance, they knew who was in power. They also knew how to get out of a certain situation a certain way. You know what I mean? Like, for me, you can say Harriet Tubman was one of the most woke, people ever. She knew how to get her people a certain way, how to get them out of a certain situation.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm saying, that's my thing. Like, how did they know and was able to thrive doing these things? But we haven't yet. Like, current day, like, we're constantly seeing these things happen, but we are not making any changes of our own. You know what I mean? Like, to me, you can buy black. That don't make you woke. That makes you supporting black people. You know what I mean? To me, if they two stores, control the block. Spend your money right here. If you spend enough money right here, that other store got to close.
Okay, so what is woke to you then?
I don't like the term, period. I personally don't like the term. Because, okay, to me, I'm just being honest. You woke till you die. You know what I mean? But here's the thing. What are you seeing? What are you seeing that makes you woke? Like, what are you seeing that you haven't seen your whole life yet? What's the difference? You know what I mean? I've been against white people since I was old enough to be against them. So, what? I don't understand. Like, I've been unapologetic since I've been able to speak my own mind. Unapologetic. Like, I don't give a fuck about. I never really did. You know what I mean? So I don't understand. Like, at damn near 49, I ain't no difference when I look at them than I did when I was 14. Because they always, and certain things come from history. You know what I mean? Like, some things come from what you learn as a young age.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I remember, I always tell you, I tell anybody, when your family come from a certain place, you look at people different. You know what I mean? Historically, you look at people different. I was taught never to trust them. You know what I mean? You deal with them, but you necessarily got to trust them. You know what I mean? I deal with them like they deal with me. It's a pay situation. It's a financial situation. You know what I mean? But I ain't spending no time with them. Like, they ain't spending no time with me.
I mean, I think in context, we coin these terms. So woke mean up. We all know that. Like, I'm woke now. I was asleep 5 minutes ago and woke. So what I believe,
right,
is that, like you said, when we were younger, there was so many things that was happening, which was coming to light then as well that I could remember. But just information that was hidden to help us stay in this kind of funk or daze or what I would call sleepwalking. You said that earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or being, not able to clearly see the things that are really happening. So once your conscience get abreast of these things, it's kind of an awakening. So in short, they say woke or conscious community. You hear that a lot. And I think it's just a term. Sometimes we coin terms. The word woke itself means what it means. And in context, it's supposed to mean, okay, now I know. Like, as a people, a lot of this stuff we weren't up on before.
I guess my thing
or wasn't sure.
My thing is, was we not up on it or we didn't care enough?
Okay, so that
see what I'm saying?
To me, even that goes better, because now we care. Like, I've awakened in my inside spirit that I care that what they've been doing to me and my people for so long. I'm woke now, and I'm not having that no more.
Okay, now I guess my question would be, how did you get to the point? Like, for instance, what did it for you?
Me personally?
Yeah, what did it for you? That made you say, this is the one?
It was kind of a series of things, but I'm going to tell you my history. I've been kind of a knowledge warrior, or like you said, the same thing my whole life. I remember in 1986, 1987, I'm 13, 14, 15 years old, and a multitude of Minister Louis Farrakhan VCR tapes were starting to float around the hood. And he was talking about the crack epidemic, and the CIA really brought it. He was talking about how AIDS was manufactured. He was talking about the banking systems and the Federal Reserves and how it was all just rigged up in one big con. Fast forward, I'll be 49 in August, and mostly everything that man was talking about back then has come to light with facts. So I'm not saying it just happened yesterday or whatever, but it been an ongoing process. I can't pinpoint a date where it just said that. I always the same way. Me personally had an eye on him, didn't trust him.
Right, but like
Tuskegee experiment was back in the 30s and 40s or whatever. Like, I learned that. I didn't trust him.
Right. That's what I mean. Like, everybody reads different. Some people read as if they're reading a novel. You know what I mean? But some people read for an understanding of certain things. And depending on how you read, to me, that determines what you pay attention to. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, they've been Afro-American history books and all this stuff. It's been around for a long time. You know what I mean? Which is why I always said I had a problem with February, Black History Month. Everybody get on social media and do a Black History fact. But then come March, there's not one fact in March. None in April. None in May. So I'm like, damn, we only woke in February, huh? That's when we do the history lesson in February. We not Black March through December. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand it.
Yeah, man. I mean, look.
But I'm saying I don't understand it. Like, I'm like, I guess for me, it's like, without even realizing it, a lot of people fall into the status quo. Like, let's only talk Black history in February. Like, we're not going to talk about it no more, type deal. Social media.
I don't see that. I see people talk about it all the time. That's like saying you celebrate your birthday every year, but you're supposed to celebrate every day. But your birthday kind of commemorates the day you was born. But we supposed to celebrate every day that we wake up.
Supposed to. Yeah, we're supposed to do a lot of things. You know what I mean?
Okay, so some days you celebrate, some days you don't. But you definitely remember when it's your birth date, that commemorative date, you celebrate that. So some people might not put out facts every day, but the fact that it's Black History Month, yeah, I'm going to post every day now because this is the month we commemorate it, we highlight it. That's just my opinion.
That makes
I'm
sense.
okay with that.
Okay. All right. That's the whole purpose of duality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, for me, I hate it. I hate it because I'll be like, damn, I want these same people, Mars, drop another jewel. Because, people still need to learn. If you got this information, share it all year long. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you don't know who's on at what time or whatever. They might see something that might spark something in them. You know what I mean? Like, they shouldn't have to be on the book only in February to get some Black knowledge. You know what I mean?
I don't know who your friends is on Facebook. I see Black knowledge every day on my timeline on social media.
Certain shit is knowledge, certain shit is propaganda
every single day.
But see, like you said, me and you different. You look for the conspiracies and you look for the things.
This ain't conspiracies. These just Black history facts or nuggets or accomplishments.
Okay,
the things that go on there.
You might be in certain. We might be in certain groups, but like you said, we both got about 400 or 500 of the same friends, mutual friends. So like I said, either I'm not on it at a certain time, but I just know in February it's at an all-time high. In March it ain't. In April it ain't. You know what I mean? That's just what I see.
No, okay. Let me backtrack just a little bit. I'm not totally disagreeing with you. I'm just saying my opinion, to say that Black History Month is like nobody does nothing after that. That's a general statement. That's not true. It's a lot of people who do a lot of things all year round.
What I've simply said, February is the month where everybody, whatever. I ain't saying ain't nobody, okay, I ain't going to say nobody put nothing in March 8th. I ain't going to say it in that sense.
Right.
At the rate.
No doubt.
I put this at the rate. Let me clear that then. At the rate. From February 1st into February, I can get at least 25 a day.
And the fact, I'm not crazy. Like, I ain't doing you like that, bro. I do understand people that might not usually even put one Black fact up will put it up in February. So that's the added.
But I'm not thinking, like, why they holding it?
That's the added, too.
Why they holding it?
Because I think that's a great analogy. I'm too smart for my shirt. Say now. If you know we supposed to celebrate life every day we get up, a person could bring you a gift every day, but they wait till the day that's commemorated as the day you're celebrating, and you get a birthday gift that day. So when Black History comes around, even though that everybody different, that might not be their thing to really post facts and all that. But because of the fact that we're highlighting it this time, we're bringing awareness to it, I'm going to join in for this month.
Okay.
That seemed logical.
Yeah, that's weird to me. If you got all this information and you're only going to share it in 1 month, like, you know, I'm just saying you're just going to share it on a rapid fire, and then come March, you're not going to share it at the same rate. I mean, I just think that's a little selfish, too.
Oh, let's be clear. A lot of people that be dropping all of them facts have just learned it themselves. That's why they dropping it. They sharing it then, they learned.
That's speculation. That's speculation.
It's also speculation to say they already knew it before Black History Month, and they held it only till Black History Month.
It's possible. Like I said, we both speculating on that one. But I'm like, damn, they ain't going to look at it no more in March and say, listen, I just found this one out. All right,
somebody want that work. They want to call in. I was just about to go in the chat room, too.
Duality Podcast, welcome. Who we talking to?
Brother Markel Mars, man.
What's good, brother?
Markel.
I'm chilling. What's going on, Mr. Social? Hey, listen, your co-host is tough, man. Kurt Tough. He make a valid point, but I just called because I wanted to ask Kurt specifically, if not acknowledge it February, how often should we acknowledge it? And what about teaching our kids in the household so we don't have to worry about society or the government giving us a month? How about we teach it in the household so that we could be just proud to be Black and not wait till February?
That I totally agree with. I totally agree with that process, which for me and probably you and even Ja, we learned a lot of Black history in the house. You know what I mean? And I think for us, particularly, our Black history was actually our family. Because, you know, when you got Southern roots, you learn Black history a little different. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, as compared to people that was up north, they learned it a little different too. So I do think if you teach your kids early, start them off that way, then the history they get, I think, is way more potent than the diluted version that they get in school.
Absolutely.
Well, before you leave, Carla.
Well, what I'm saying is, though, about February, I know that's Black History Month, but how often you think we should celebrate it?
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
I'm not disputing that part, that we shouldn't celebrate it every day. But what I'm saying is, I don't think Black History Month itself is the cause of why people don't do their history and research and do all of that. Like, it's only to highlight it. You got to take everything in context. In life, you know what I'm saying? You separate things, and everything isolated could look weird. But let's remember, this whole thing was started because we was getting zero Black history love throughout the school system, anywhere in this country at that time. So they created this to bring forth and spread the word, right? So now we still need to be teaching our babies in the house. We still need to be doing it on our own, living it, not just researching facts, right? And then when February come around, we commemorate it and highlight it as well. Why we can't do both?
No, I agree 100%. But the problem with us, we don't love ourselves, man. We don't love each other. If one of us gets shot, God forbid, 90% chance it's going to be somebody who look like us. So we got so many issues as a people. That's why we don't celebrate each other. When I see you guys doing your thing, I don't call all the time, but I get excited because you're always talking about something. We all the same age. Y'all a little older than me. I'll be 49 in December. I'm the baby.
Yeah, we the same age. I'm trying to make us old.
I'm older than y'all. But you always drop a jewel. You always give me something that I can, take with me, and I appreciate it. So even though I don't call, I'm always listening. But the point is, we gotta love each other, man. We don't love each other as a people, like you said, Farrakhan. But Malcolm said this in the '60s, man. The same stuff.
Yep.
So if we don't value ourselves, why we expect the rest of the world to value us?
Agreed.
Empty households with no fathers in them. You know what I mean? We got to get ourselves together. And I'm going to provide my solution, then I'm going to go. And I know y'all going to disagree, but this is my solution. Mm-hmm. Anybody who submits to the will of God and who's humble and who's upright and upstanding, I'm not one of those people. I believe in God. I accept Christ as my personal Lord and Savior, but I got stuff that I got to work on. So I'm not one of those people. But those people who I'm talking about, no matter what their ethnic background is, keep them, all the people, all the kids that's 2-year-old and under, keep them. Everybody else, you got to wipe them out. Then we start all over again. Because at 5 years old, they start getting the mindset of being messed up, knowing how to lie, how to betray, how to be sneaky, some of the bad habits we have as human beings. But at 2 years old, they don't know nothing yet. Those people that I spoke about, I'm not one of those people. Let them stay regardless of whatever their ethnic background is, and let them pour into them 2-year-old kids and watch me raise up and grow. But everybody else, myself included, wipe us out and start all over again. Because it's just like we going backwards, man.
So basically,
you know, we hear
like
about
a purge?
Somebody dying, and it's like there's no big deal.
So you talking about like a purge?
I'm saying whatever, wipe out who ain't. If you're and no dis. Hey, listen, it's controversial.
So
if
what?
Five,
Say
six,
it.
If you 5, 6, 7, 8, you're gone. 13, 19, 20, you're gone. But if you're an adult and you fit that criteria and you don't have no malice in your heart, I don't care what you are, black, white, Spanish, and you get it and you understand what your purpose is that God has set in your spirit. I'm not there yet. I hope I can live to get there. But right now, at this moment, I'm not there yet. So those people who are, keep them. Keep the babies 2-year-olds and under, and let those people that I'm speaking about raise those 2-year-old babies. And then we start all over. Because everything in between, we jacked up. We want to knock down our brother go to jail. We want to knock his wife down. We want to shoot each other. We want to sell on drugs on our corner. Jokers come home and be promoters and all these guys, but we forgot this guy had his hand in murdering people. I don't care if it was 20-plus years ago. He's still a murderer. We know guys who rape little kids. They come home and we forget. What's wrong with us? So those people, myself included, wipe us out, keep the righteous people, leave them here. 2-year-old and under, leave them, and we start all over. Because I'm telling you, we're going to be talking about this in 2050.
Yeah,
that's just that's how I feel, man.
Nah, we appreciate your comment.
Yeah, it's an honest opinion.
That's your opinion.
Honesty is the best policy.
But I would like to go in a little bit myself, brother. And you know, like I said, it ain't never a personal attack. But like some of the things you said,
right,
when you was like, you know, no men in the home, this and that. That was a design plan by a white supremacist racist structure. I can't remember the exact year. In the 70s, they literally made a law and enacted things where public assistance was based on your spousal situation, status. So we keep the black man out the house. They started they exactly for welfare.
Yeah.
You get welfare and food stamps much easier if a black man not in your house.
That's true.
So they create the thing that I'm saying is we do have a lot of problems, but I'm tired. I'm gonna tell you, I'm tired of our own people, always leaving that part out of the equation. We got a lot of fucked up problems, but they created these problems for us.
Yeah,
it was a system put in place to create a lot of problems. Like they literally do you remember what we just said? You remember we was in Jeff Markell? We in freshman year, and crack was hitting hard all over the city and all over the country. Yo, they really literally put crack in the black community, the government.
Yeah. You're right.
So we can't keep I'm tired that's just me. Like you said, that's my opinion. I'm tired of always we got to fix ourselves. We got to start within. Well, they fucking turned us inside out and upside down. And we got to fix us. And there's so many things to fix. You can just throw spaghetti at the wall and see what stick where we can start at. Self-hate, like
Yeah.
you said. We've been separated
Right.
since we've been brought to this country. Light skin against dark skin, male
Yeah.
against female, old against young. They bred self-hate into us.
Yeah, you're right.
These are all facts, bro.
Okay, now you're right.
It's
Now,
true.
right now, here go another fact. At what point? Okay, at what point do we start saying, "I'm tired of that life. I'm tired of always using what happened 20 years ago for the reason why I'm not shit today."
Nah, you never can get tired of it because to solve a problem,
No,
you got to
but
go to the root
they do come
of the
a point.
problem.
But listen,
You got to know where the root, where it come from.
Well, some roots actually spread. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So while they might have planted the seed, it's up to us to a certain point to keep carrying it and growing it to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. You can actually take the root out. You can take the root out of your house. You can't use all the time. We can't use them as they the end all and they did everything. Granted, they did 99%, but at some point, you got to plant your own root too.
We've been trying the whole time, bro.
And
Every time we get close, they change the root. They
that's
change
my
the
solution.
game. They change the rules
That's
to
why
the
my
game.
solution is I'm telling you, man.
Just a straight
I mean,
purge.
what you're saying is right, but it's just like, why the affirmative action was created. If I have a skill set and I'm qualified for the position, my ethnic background shouldn't matter. You don't need to know if I'm black, white, Asian, African, whatever. You don't need to know none of that. If you're hiring and I fit the criteria for the job,
yeah,
because you want to pick and choose and then, put out the census and says, only a certain amount of blacks work. My job, perfect example, man. There's so much favoritism, there's so much racism. It's
Right.
pathetic.
I was about to say that to you, Markel. With you saying that, and if we going to talk here and talk about being realistic and when we going to do, Martin Luther King got a quote. They don't play it that much. Ah, man, I'm messing up because I forgot the word he used. But he said it's an evil joke for somebody to tell you to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and you ain't even got no boots.
Right.
Yeah.
How they gonna do that to us? They tell us to start and just overcome it and work it, and how that's working out for us. So I'm not saying depend or totally rely on. We got this ace in the hole. We always can say they created it with white supremacy. I'm not saying that. I said in specific, I'm tired of my people always skipping over that part.
Yeah, it's because, you know why? Because even though, and we don't want to admit it, but you get any of our friends who are fortunate to buy a house and they live in an area, they're so proud to say, I'm the only black person in the neighborhood, because we look at white folks as being superior and we feel we're inferior.
How did that happen?
Why we could go, because the same way it happened when that slave master brought that slave family over.
It was a
and
system.
The man was a strong man. Yeah, he was a strong man, and then he rapes them in front of his wife. How that man
psychological warfare, spiritual warfare, physical warfare. They've been engaging on us for 400 years. So if you think we messed up, that's why. And it's a lot to unpack. It's a lot to undo.
400 years, it might take us 1,200 years to get out of this, man. And sadly, none of us gonna be here to see it, And I love my people, man, and I get emotional when I hear about somebody leaving here when it's another brother. I don't want nobody to kill nobody, but I don't know why we hate ourselves so much. And I understand what's been done to us, and it's been a plan. But somewhere in the midst of that, we gotta love each other, man. I don't want to sound like no Hallmark card, But I know you brothers all my life. I love you, man. I love both of y'all. But the thing is,
I love you too,
and I know y'all, and I know y'all love me. But what's wrong with the rest? I mean, and it's a lot of good people, man. We're beautiful people. But why we hate each other so much, man? The white man did his job, but now we doing his job.
Part of it, I wanted to say that too.
Saying.
Markel, I wanted to bring that up too. Now, we got to remember all of these things when we having these conversations. You know why remember back you had just said if one of us gets shot, 90% is going to be somebody look like us? Well, that happens in every race. Crime is who in the proximity of where you live at. That's who you commit the crimes against. So if white people, white on white crime is higher than white on black crime, black on black, Puerto Rican on Puerto Rican, Polish on Polish, wherever you at, in that vicinity, that's who you're going to commit the crimes in. Just like it was well proven that, they make this narrative, the big black scary, the big scary black people, right? That we do so much. And, it's not a race thing. Poverty creates crime. And this government has studied that. They had the first ghettos over in Poland and Warsaw during the Holocaust and all of that. They brought the idea here to America after they let the slaves out. Like, these are all directed evil fucking trickery. Like, you couldn't believe, like, they would go to the extent they do the things they did to us to keep us twisted in the days, not woke, hating ourselves. So I'm not saying be easy on us because we warriors, you know what I mean? And we need to snap out the shit. And there's so many things. And you're right. I'm going to even say this. I agree. Ain't a motherfucker in the world going to respect us until they see that we living our lives like royalty and we respecting ourselves and loving ourselves. Because as of right now, in the entire world, especially in America, black people are still not considered human beings.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's deep.
That's
so
a fact.
Just I wanted to ask you, because I'm curious, I always wanted to ask y'all that. I've been to Dolce's, trying to do events with people, and, I'm 5'6", 5'7", if I got on my Timbs, you know what I'm saying? And, but you got a brother, Kurt, 6'3", maybe. Jalil, I give you about 5'10". Both of y'all got deep voices. How did you negotiate, and not just one time, but give multiple events when you had to go in there, strong brothers, deep voices, and work out deals to have at a place like that with folks who own it that don't look like it? How did y'all do that? I always wanted to ask y'all that.
Well, in any event, to me, that I've ever broken, I didn't look at your nationality. I looked at the business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't look at it. I didn't care where you came from. I looked at, okay, how can we both profit?
No, I'm talking about how they looking at you.
Oh,
Not
I
you.
never. You
How
know
did
what?
they look at you?
Well, you know what? To be honest with you,
when I went, it seemed like they wasn't really trying to mess with me.
Well, you know what?
And we had bread and everything.
Right, but see, I understand that sometimes money can open certain doors, but sometimes the way you deliver is actually more profitable than the money itself. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like if I go in there, listen, this is what we plan on doing. Boom, 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 boom. That's it. See, once you talk like that, they realize, okay, this ain't somebody we can shuck and jive with.
Right.
And then what I have learned to do, I give you one deal tonight. Next week, guess what? We about to restructure that deal again. Because as long as we got the leverage, the deal restructures.
I got you.
So that's how you let them know, okay, you're not dealing with somebody that's trying to make $20.
And historically, you got other events under your belt to verify that, yeah. That was my first time out.
And just for transparency, shit took a minute.
Yeah.
It was giving us the runaround too, bro.
Okay. All right.
So when we first approached, it was all kind of outrageous numbers and like things that we would be responsible for and all that. And we walked away from it. Like, okay, no, this is not what we thought. And kind of stayed consistent. And I guess we warmed down a little bit.
Because, like
and
you
built
said,
some relationships. It was people that was already employed there that, we built that, but we didn't get it right away. He was talking crazy, just like you said.
But like you said, but at the same time, that's the whole key. The whole key is, you know what? It's just like in any business. It's any business you go into. You put numbers on the table. Either you agree or disagree.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he had his
Right.
numbers and we're like, they not biting. All right, come back again. Every time you come back, guess what? The number changed.
Yep.
That's
You know what I mean?
happened.
Because he realized, nah, that didn't work out for me. Let me try it again.
Yeah.
Right.
And the one thing about these business owners, and they don't tell you this, but you figure it out. Even when they tell you no, they watching what you're doing somewhere else.
Believe that. Yo, that came up
Right,
for sure.
right. From Dolce's, Felice in general. He straight up was like, I seen y'all, blah, blah, blah. Now it's like, okay, let me bring them in the fold.
Yep.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, like I said, they paying attention. Sometimes you just got to be persistent, but you have to stay true. It's like going to a car lot. If you tell that man I ain't put no more than 2,000, I don't care if he talk to 20 people in the back. It ain't never going to 2,500. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So guess what? He gonna keep
That's
going
true,
back,
yeah.
and he gonna keep going back till he like, you know what? We can do $2,000. When in reality, he could have did $2,000 from the start.
Yeah.
Yeah. So y'all
It's
just
always
right.
about
You look
trying
at
to
it
get
like
the
that.
best deal. Yeah.
So that's how you got to look at it. Like, nah, you don't budge. If they ain't budging, you don't budge from your number.
Okay,
So-
that's what all I wanted to say, man. But y'all continue to go at it, because y'all remind me of Odd Couple, man. I don't know if y'all remember that. And Jaleel is Felix Unger. Oscar Madison.
Why I gotta be Oscar? Oscar was
Hey,
pretty dope.
you
though.
the football players, man.
Oscar was pretty
you
dope.
the-
I'll
Yeah,
take
yeah,
Oscar.
I'm
He had a
alright.
bunch of hot chicks. He went out on the town. He partied and shit. I'll take
Yeah,
Oscar.
the Mr. Social. Mr. Social.
I'm gonna be feeling with the T with the little pinky hanging out. You know?
Yeah, because he
Yeah,
loved
there
to
you
cook
go.
and shit like that.
Yeah.
We
I'm
got
down.
casserole in the oven now. Felix always was
Listen,
making a
man, hey.
casserole with that apron on and shit.
For real.
Y'all crazy. But listen, man, continued success, man. I see y'all.
We appreciate
Love
you.
y'all. Keep up the good work, man.
Appreciate you, bro. Love you.
All right.
All right, peace.
Peace.
So, thank you for that call. 646-233-1302 if you want to call in. But one of the things we a little bit sidetracked there, but it was still on the subject we were saying.
Yeah.
But we had some specific things that we wanted to talk about that was in the climate. Like I said, that happened in recent time in the last couple of weeks, and and I'm telling you, it got me fired up. It got me to this point, and I'm gonna say it again. I've said it here a couple times. What I mean by unapologetically black is that it seems that we always do things and have a, I'm just trying to do that. It's like to ease it over with everybody. Fuck that. Don't nobody handle us like that. They do their shit, especially, I'm bringing it up. With the last president we had, he emboldened a lot of things, and he was an example to me of, I'm just doing my thing, unapologetically. I don't care if you like it or not. This is what I want to do. However the result's going to be is one thing.
That's facts.
But just far, and I think we move as a people too much worrying about what it's going to look like, what it's going to do. I don't want them to call me the angry black man. You see how he just said that? We always got to walk on shells. We big, we got deep voices, so we got to go in there. Yes, sir, we would like to promote in your club. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right, but then like you said,
No,
first
he's
of
not
all-
saying
I
that.
know,
but it is an era of that. Like,
but you know what? This is how I look at it. Even based on that premise, you have to get to the point where you're like, I'm not budging.
no doubt. That's where
In
I'm at
life,
now.
I'm not budging.
That's where I'm at now.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, fuck that. No matter what you're talking about, I'm not budging.
I'm not saying that I'm about to be this great community activist, social justice fighter and all. I'm just saying personally how my mindset is. I'm unapologetic about the things I stand for. And here's a couple of reasons why real quick. You want to hear?
Go ahead. Speak on it.
All right. So we had Kim Potter out in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota. Shot the dude, Deshaun. Young man. Baby. My daughter age. My son age. Okay. So right away, I've known brothers who made mistakes, and they still got to pay for it to go to jail. So they are holding her, charging her with certain things or whatever, like it was an accident. But my thing is, and I was watching Roland Martin. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Roland Martin. He got a great newscast, if you want to call it that. He always got panelists. They raw, they uncut. I really like it. And there was a gentleman there that was talking about, why are we so quick to give this white lady a pass? I mean, even saying it was an accident, even charging her with manslaughter is somewhat of a pass because we don't know all the facts yet. All right? And I just was telling you how those Farrakhan tapes and all that, to me, just blew my mind as I got older and all these things was coming out from our White House. It wasn't no more conspiracy theory. These was facts. Nixon, one of his top aides, right before he died, like last year, admitted all that shit, that war on drugs was just a war on black people. Oh, yeah, and hippies, because they was protesting the war. Mm-hmm. So, with all that being said, with all that stuff coming out, with all of them experiments they did biologically and chemically on us, that they now, all these facts coming out, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think it's a far stretch to think this lady is in cahoots with some white supremacist militant group and had an opportunity to kill a nigga, a black person, a young boy, and set it up. Now, here you go. You got a 20-plus year veteran. She also a field training officer. So she constantly goes over procedure, constantly goes over scenario, even more than your average police officer, because once they go through training, you might have to recertify here and there, like with your gun and all that. But this is her job, to train people to handle these situations. And you didn't handle it. Okay.
She handled it.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's be clear. She handled it. Don't. All
right.
She handled it.
Couple facts. Glock 9 she had, they say weighed 30 ounces. The taser weighs 10. Mm-hmm. The Glock is black. The taser is bright safety yellow. Mm-hmm. The Glock is on your dominant side, meaning if you're right-handed, it would be on your right-hand side. If you're left-handed, it would be on your left-hand side. So you can use your dominant hand to draw your weapon. And the taser is on the opposite side of that. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and it is facing the opposite direction.
And it's faced in the opposite direction. They got all kind of safety features where it feels different, everything. So, you mean to tell me a 20-year veteran who her specific job duty is to train people on all this stuff, when she gets into this routine, or I even say that, it wasn't routine. Because he was, he made a move to get away. But he didn't make a move to threaten anybody's life. Mm-hmm. And then to me, the kicker was when she yelled, taser, 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 and still pulled out the Glock. Mm-hmm. Held the Glock in front of her for seconds like she was waiting for a good shot. So that was another opportunity to notice, oh, shit, I got my gun. You know when she said, oh, shit, after she popped this brother. Oh, shit, I shot him. And I'm hearing some people say, well, it really must have been an accident because she said, oh, shit, after she did it. You don't think these motherfucking people is that evil that she could have concocted this with the cohorts of some other white supremacist militant people and just was waiting for an opportunity? You don't know what she else helped cover up or look the other way on? I don't get it, man. They constantly do us dirty, and we still give them the benefit of the doubt, but we won't even give each other the benefit of the doubt.
Well, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Until there's a rebellion, everything gonna be the same. No,
it's
but
there,
see,
bro.
let me say the shit now. I'm the worst motherfucker alive. You know what I mean?
Nah, you right.
No, I've
Look,
been saying this
two
for
people.
how long? I've been saying this for years. Like, fuck the bullshit. Straight rebel. Just start grabbing them. Do what you need to do. Boom, boom, boom. Because that's the only way change is. You know how they say slavery? They broke us based on what? What we saw, right?
Right.
Same shit. It's the same premise. Same premise.
So frustrating.
Here's the thing. They didn't talk about the shit like we do every day, constantly, and all this. While we saying we woke, so to speak, they have proven they not only woke, like they on like fucking Red Bull, they on Monster, like they up.
They did talk about it now. They organized. They was behind the scenes. We just not in them circles, so we don't see.
we
like
ain't got to be in the
our
circle.
stuff.
They talked one time and did it 50. We talked 50 times and they did it once. It's a difference.
I'm not taking
No,
that
I'm just
away.
saying, but that's my thing. I'm tired of talking. They stopped talking a long time ago.
Yeah.
And no, when they stopped talking, they say, you know what? They think we bullshitting. Let's start burning them too. Matter of fact, we're going to bring our little Junes out here so they can watch us burn them. Matter of fact, let's take some body parts off. Let's skin them a little bit too to let them know we not fucking around. But, you know, we all went back in the house back then, you know, to a certain extent, and we cried, and we went right back on the farm, and we did whatever, you know, we had to do. And they kept doing it and kept doing it. You say 400 years ago? No, it's no years ago. It's 400 plus.
Right.
It's still current.
Ongoing. Absolutely.
It's ongoing. It ain't no ago. It's still going. This is current day. Until we decide to truly say, fuck this, rebel as a people, the key word is everybody has to be in agreement with this. Because remember, what was it, Nat Turner or either it was Harry, when they found out, okay, who's willing to want to be free, and then it was the next conversation, well, who's willing to go back? It was somehow worded, and they killed those, because they were like, if you do this, and I know you'll tell on us.
Yep.
Remember? Same rules apply. Same rules apply now.
Harriet Tubman did it too.
Yeah,
Everybody
that's what I'm
tried to turn around.
Right.
She shot their ass.
Same rules apply. You know what I mean? Like we have.
I agree. We at that point.
Yeah, we've been there. We've been there. We ain't just got there. We was there in the 90s. You know what I mean? We ain't just get there. We've been there. The point gonna be is this is 2021, and we're gonna have the same fucking conversation in 2022, 23, 24, 25, or we gonna actually do something as a people. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. I don't need no research to know what needs to be done. Don't need it. We have enough now. We have enough data. You don't need any more. So it's either we're going to do it or we're not going to do it. That's it.
I am so I'm just tired of it, man. I you know, like there's got me stuttering and everything. I tried, you know, and this not to keep going on about what I personally do. I know we did it as Good Vibes. We gave back to different events, youth entertainment, talent shows we was putting together or showcases, donated books, education we stood behind. You know, mentor kids and specifically through coaching sports, youth sports. I became a new member of the NAACP. I'm part of One Community, One Family, another community-based organization. I've had several seminars or speaking engagements where we discussed some of the issues that was going on that plaguing the black community. So I really, it don't seem like none of that shit. Like I'm not feeling numb, but
Bruh,
it's like for nothing.
I get you. You took the word out of my head. Listen, I applaud you for being all that you in. None of that ain't worth a damn until we do what we do.
That's what I was getting to.
Right. None of that shit ain't worth a damn. I ain't about to be in not one damn group that's going to sit in here and just take notes all night. I'm not doing that shit. For what? I can waste my time doing my time. You know what I mean? I'm Maxine Waters, this whole shit, reclaiming my time.
Right.
You know what I mean? 'Cause it's a fucking waste. Either we going to do some shit or we not. That's it. That's it.
That's my only thing. I'm still not willing to go there to say that all that type of stuff is a waste. And the only reason I say that because it pushes us as a culture forward on many levels of different things. But to me, this is the final step. Like, it's kind of evolved where we done got educated and got woke. We done started. We understand the importance of doing black business with each other. A lot of good stuff been coming over as of recent. That shit ain't pushing us over the top, though.
Over the top? We ain't at the middle. We ain't even at the middle. We not even at the middle.
Well, okay, even that it ain't enough. So you right. I think
It's all or nothing now.
We have to, one, defend ourselves. I think that is really real. The one thing they fought hard, it was one thing they fought really hard for black people not to do, be educated. And the other thing was get weapons. They always made it real hard for black people to get weapons and get educated. You know, I guess that's why they say knowledge is like a weapon or whatever. But, you know, honestly, since slavery. And, man, we could go on this topic for 30 hours and still not scratch the surface. My people. I know there's a lot of things that we have to clean up in our own house, and we should. But in any war, there are multiple battles. Everybody don't have to be focused on cleaning up in-house. I mean, you start with yourself, you know what I'm saying, and your family and what you could do. Clean it up. Sweep up your little corner of the earth. If everybody fucking do that, we start cleaning some shit. But we also have to have people that's going to take on these other things. And one of the things I want to shout out, you was like, I ain't fucking around no more. They got a great name. Shout out Grandmaster Jay. They brought him up on some trumped up federal charges. Grandmaster Jay is like the leader and figurehead of the NFAC. I really suggest a lot of you go research, Google them on YouTube, everywhere they got videos. It's called the Not Fucking Around Coalition. NFAC. Just do a little homework from Duality on that.
Well, we come to the end of another show. We done went over a couple of minutes, but
Yeah,
I will say this before we leave. I am not speaking truth to power. Let's match power with power. I think that's the only way, because as long as we keep speaking, we ain't going to never get shit done. That's just how I feel. I'll be Mr. Business.
And, of course, it's your boy, Mr. Social.
What a great show. We see y'all
Great
next
show.
Sunday.
Peace.
Peace.